Hey, this is another video by PetRock. Today I'm working on my 06 Harley Night Train. It's an FXSTBI. And today I'm going to be lubing up my clutch cable. This is something that you should be doing once every, 10,000 miles or so, just to keep the cable nice and fluid. It makes the lever pull a lot easier. It also helps prevent the cable from rusting from the inside and then snapping at the worst possible time. So I happen to have my bike up on a jack right now because I've been doing some other stuff that I've shown in other videos. It also makes it easier to film, but you don't have to have your bike on a jack. You can do this with the bike on the ground. The thing you need to do is loosen the clutch cable. So we need to remove this boot, and sometimes these things have a tendency to stick to the metal on the inside. So what I like to do is I like to take a can of silicone lubricant, or WD-40 will work too. Something that'll lube this up nice, but also won't degrade the rubber, because certain types of lubricants will actually cause rubber to decay. Stick the nozzle down in there, squirt it around a little bit. Doesn't require a lot. Give it a little bit of a twist up and down just to work the lubricant in. Next, you take a small screwdriver, pop the clip off, or just pull it. Both will work. Pull the cable out, and now you can start moving the whole thing up. Just like that. And here's your adjuster. So hopefully this isn't all rusted up. If it is, then you might want to take some penetrating oil or something to loosen up this gem nut before you try to take it off. You don't want to strip this, because if you strip this, and you got to replace the entire cable. So the top nut, the gem nut, is a 9/16, and this part right down here, the adjuster, is 1/2 inch. So you want to back the gem nut up as high as you can go. And then you want to spin the adjuster nut up as high as you want to go. Now you've given the cable as much slack as it possibly can have. Next, you need to remove this clip right here on the pivot for the clutch lever. So you want to press down on the pin, get your tool in the little holes. A little easier said than done. There we go. And remove it. Be careful and don't let this thing fly off. These things have a tendency to come off the little pins on the end of this tool. If this thing flies off, it could easily hit you in the eye. It could also fly off and you'll never find it again. So just put this aside and keep an eye on it. Okay, now you just push up on the pin and pull it out. Yeah, I know this is all dirty. I don't wash my bike that often. I think it's been almost a year. I'd rather ride my bike than wash it. This is my daily driver. So anyway, and now you want to just pull the cable out this way and pull it towards yourself so it goes through this little slot right here. Now the cable and the lever are free. So now you want to take this little plastic pin and push it through and pull it the rest of the way out. And then you can remove your clutch cable. So now you want to take a tool similar to this. It's specifically designed for lubing up cables like this. It clamps around the base of the cable right here, and will clamp around the shaft as well, so that, and then you stick the tube for the lube in here, and it'll force all the fluid into the cable. You can pick these up at most motorcycle shops. They're fairly inexpensive. You can also find them online. You want to get one that's fairly narrow, because the cable doesn't come out that far, so you want one that will fit within this distance. This one is about 1 inch long. So you take the tool, you slide it over the end of the cable, you pull the cable through the other side. Sorry, I'm going to do this off camera. The angle was just wrong, so I had to do it off camera. Anyway, so you want the tool on like this. You tighten down the tool, so now it's sealed around the bottom here and sealed on the top. So next you want to find a good can of spray cable lube. I use this stuff called Cable Life. I picked it up years ago when I first needed to lube up the cable. You can pick up stuff like this at most motorcycle shops. It's fairly inexpensive, and I've had this can since I bought this bike almost new, and I still have a good 3/4 of the can left. This stuff will last a long time. Anyway, so it comes with a little red tube. You stick the tube in the hole at the top of the tool, then attach your can at the other end. So now that you've got the can attached to the tool, You want to take a rag of some sort and hold on to it, because this won't be a perfect seal. It'll be pretty good, but it won't be perfect. And you just spray like that. So you know you're done when you start seeing some of the fluid come out the adjuster nut. Like that. Okay, now you just need to remove your tool. Wipe off any excess. Now you want to take the cable and just push it in and out a bunch of times. That'll work the oil into the cable all the way up and down. That clicking you hear is down on my transmission and is normal. Okay, next you want to clean out the cavity where the clutch cable and clutch lever go in. You can take a little bit of brake cleaner, stick it on a rag, wipe out the inside track. Now you want to also clean off the brake lever. Keep in mind there's a tab right here that you want to not break. It's actually very fragile. It's just plastic. You just want to wipe it down. Now what I like to do is take a little bit of chassis grease and put a little bit on the bottom part right here where that little clip rides from the clutch lever. And I take this same grease and put it on the clip itself. Just like that, not a lot. Now you connect the cable to the lever again. You slide the cable eyelet through the lever, making sure that the clip here is down. I cleaned and lubed the plastic pin and slide that through like that. Work it around a little bit. So now you pull on the lever this way to make as much slack as possible. You put the lever in the little cavity. You pull it all the way that way, and then hook the cable in. Now that you take the pivot pin and put it in the hole, slide it all the way through, work your lever back and forth a little bit, and now we reinstall the C-clip. So now you put your the C-clip on the C-clip pliers, you press down on the pin, expand the C-clip, and that's it. So now we adjust the clutch cable. It's actually quite simple. You have your adjuster screw here, or nut, and then you have your lock nut right here. So at the moment it's in this position where it's all the way up. You have the most amount of slack you possibly can have in the cable. By turning it clockwise, you remove slack. By turning it counterclockwise, you increase slack. So what I like to do is I like to take the clutch lever and close it all the way. Then I take the adjuster and turn it clockwise. And as you see, I will continue to turn it that way, you'll see the clutch lever open up like that. So you want to get the clutch lever just to the point where it's almost all the way out. Sorry, it's hard to do with one hand. Till about there. Okay, once you've got it here, at this point, you want to squeeze the lever a couple times just to make sure that it's seated properly, and also so that the balls and ramps in the transmission and in the clutch are also seated properly. If you can't fully do this, then there's something wrong that you need to go look at in the clutch. To finish the adjustment, you want to, again, seat it like this, let it go, and pull on the cable that way. The goal is you want this gap to be about 1/16 of an inch. If you live in the States, an easy way to measure that is to just take an ordinary nickel and stick it in this area right here. So as you can see, I have to remove a little bit of slack in order to close this gap right here. So I will turn the adjuster nut clockwise, just about a half turn, and then I will recheck. Need to take out a little bit more. That is about perfect. That is the perfect amount of slack that you want in the cable. And it also means there's a little bit of slack in the lever, not a whole lot. And you can pull it all the way closed and all the way open. And that is a properly adjusted clutch cable. So now you have adjusted properly, you want to take the jam nut and tighten it down onto the adjuster. keeping the adjuster nut stationary. That's it, not a whole bunch of torque. So now you can take the rubber boot and slide it over top the adjuster assembly. It often helps to rotate the rubber boot to get it to slide over properly. And now you just take it and tuck it into its little holder clip like that. So now you're pretty much done. Your clutch cable has now been properly lubricated and adjusted. So hopefully this video helped you out. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this one, click subscribe.